just a bunch of drugs.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Rooster Teeth podcast. This week brought to you by... I'm Gus.
I'm Gavin.
Blaine is drinking, and I'm Bernie.
And I'm also Gus. You know, I know it's unexpected, Blaine. We never go through that routine every time.
Did you hope your timing was going to work out on that?
No, it was fine.
So, I had someone spill an entire bottle of water on me yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you know this person?
No. It was a stranger on a plane. They, So I'm sitting on the plane, right? The flight attendant comes by. She's asking what everyone wants to drink. She gets to me, and I look up to talk to her, and I see there's a drop of water on the thing above me. And I look at it, and she sees me looking at it and goes, she says, "Oh, that's condensation." I go, "Yeah, I know." And I go to wipe it away before it drips on me. And as soon as I touch it, this torrent of water pours down my arm and then like all into my lap and my crotch.
So it was just held by
It was just being held by surface tension, and I touched it, and it all just came pouring down. Like I jump up out of my seat, and the flight attendant looks at me and goes, "That's not condensation." And I go, "Yeah, I know." So then we have to like open
You're
up.
like the guy who knows everything.
We have to open up the overhead
Somehow you're all
compartment,
wet.
and it's just like a lake in there. There's just water
On all the carry-on
everywhere,
bags?
like in all the bottom, the whole compartment's just filled with water.
That's not so good.
So I'm like, fuck. So then, I pull my bag out, and then, the flight attendant and I are pulling everyone's bags out, and I'm helping her clean the whole thing. We're sopping up all this water, and I'm going through asking everyone. I can see, it looks like all the water's coming from that backpack right there.
Yeah.
So I go to that backpack, the guy under it, and I go, "Is that your backpack right above you?" He goes, "No." I go, "The backpack right above you, that's not yours." I go, "No." He goes, "Is that anybody's backpack?" Nobody. Okay.
You're like a gladiator, like challenging anyone?
No, you're like, you would do that, though. You would leave your backpack on that plane. If it was you, that backpack's a loss, yeah.
No
So
way.
we've pulled get him a beer.
Blaine, can you hear me?
We pulled everyone's bags out. Everyone's like, "No, we don't have water in our bag." Then finally, that guy who I asked, "Is that your bag?" He grabs that backpack that he says wasn't his, and I go, "Oh, that is your bag?" He goes, "Yeah, I got a water bottle in there."
So he just
And it was like a water bottle like that one that you're drinking out of, just like,
wow.
like not even like a real water, but like something that he
That's
had
like
filled up
1
himself.
liter of water.
Right. And he pulls it out of his bag, and it's got like a tiny little bit of water left in it, and I'm wearing the rest of it. And I go, "Oh, so it was you?" And he goes, "Yeah." And then he turns to the people behind him, not me. I was 2 rows behind him. He turns to people behind him while I'm there. He goes, "To them, sorry." And I'm like,
Why would he apologize to people who weren't affected?
these people who were unaffected at all, and I'm wearing a liter of water of his.
Well, I probably felt you were an official since you were leading this investigation.
Yeah.
So the whole rest of the flight attendant gave me a blanket. She's like, "Here, this way, if it keeps dripping on you, it won't hit you." And the whole rest of the flight, it was just like the occasional drip on me. It's like I had a fucking soggy blanket on top of my wet crotch.
What were you hoping for here? You find the guy in what?
I just want to know what it was.
Oh, you just want to know it wasn't like...
Right, like that it wasn't something else. And then one of the other people who was sitting there was like, "Smells like wine to me." I'm like, "It's not wine, dude. It's water."
Well, if you knew it was water, then why do you want to know what it is?
So unhelpful. But I wanted to know whose it was. I was saying it's a water bottle. Do you have water to find out who the fuck it was?
So what do you want to know? Whose it was or what it was?
Both.
Okay.
Wouldn't
But you
you
knew
wanna
it
know
wasn't
both?
wine.
I knew it wasn't wine. There's a million other liquids it could have been.
But you
why
asked-
is there an inquisition on me
Is this
now
wine?
when I just got water spilled on
asked
me?
the
Jesus
question.
wasn't on the flight.
You asked the question, like, what is this? The guy next to you goes, wine. You're like, dude, it's not fucking wine. It's like, well, then don't ask the guy what it is.
I didn't ask him what it was. He said it smelled like wine, unprompted.
Maybe you smell like wine once you get wet.
So that someone different said it smelled like wine.
Right, some other person on the
Someone
other
just
side
chiming in.
Third party.
of the row.
Guy from first class. Smells like wine. He takes a sip of wine.
That's bad luck,
I
dude.
like the idea of being covered in wine, and you're like, smells like wine. Oh, that's what that smells. Everyone knows what wine smells like.
It was not a comfortable flight.
On these flights, did you have any delays or any
I
canceled flights?
did have a delay.
What's going on, dude?
So I connected. It was terrible. So I connected in Houston. I got drenched from San Diego to Houston. Then I had to fly from Houston to Austin.
Heh.
I was in the airport in Houston.
I'm glad it happened.
They started boarding the flight from Houston to Austin. I got on. I was one of the first people aboard. I was in group 1. Got in, got to my row, the exit row, sat down, and then looked back. It's like there's nobody else boarding behind me. So there were like 6 people on the plane, and nobody else was getting on.
Free plane.
And the flight attendant comes on and says, "We have a mechanical issue with the plane. We've stopped boarding for now. You can either stay on the plane or get off." And I said, "I'm going to stay on." So then after about 30 minutes, the captain comes on the intercom and he says, "Well, we've got a slight mechanical problem with the plane. The the engine cover isn't closing all the way.
Well, what do you need that for?
He said, doesn't seem like a big deal, but if wind gets under there, it may come off. I said, so we're trying to get an engineer on the phone to
Seems
find
like
out
a
what.
big deal. It's like not being able to close your
It's a pretty big deal.
hood of your car.
So we're trying to get an engineer on the phone to determine what the tolerance is and if we can legally take off or not. And I was
the
like,
tolerance for wind.
for like
Zero
the gap.
tolerance.
I mean, but to be fair, Houston, Austin, you're just going, ooh.
Right.
Yeah, but you
In
still
the
need
air.
to go.
A few miles in the air.
I like the idea of a wing being off. It's like it may not seem important, but the plane can't fly straight with one wing.
I like
it's really important if the engine's not covered.
I like the feeling that Blaine doesn't think the wind starts until he gets to cruising altitude. Like climbing up to 35,000 feet isn't going to generate an enormous amount of
You're
wind
not going
across
like
that.
at 400 or 500 miles an hour or anything.
What's it? Yeah, just like climbing it with as much power as you possibly can.
What
to
is
the sky.
takeoff speed?
200, I think.
Doesn't
Or
it
like
depend on
180.
It depends on the plane.
It depends on the plane.
Yeah.
But like I always in my head, we got to get the plane up to 180 to take off from the ground. That's what I'm always thinking.
Why in your head?
I think
I don't know, because I've got to do something when I'm taking off. I can't use my fucking phone.
So in your
I'm
head,
sitting there.
Yeah, you can.
In your
With
head, you've
airplane
got
mode.
like a speedo where you're guessing.
Speedo.
Speedometer. I know what he meant.
What do you-
I'm
what do you
dressed
call
in a
it?
speedo. I'm in the airplane,
As you do when you get on a plane.
and I'm just counting off numbers.
Chris Evans in the chat said, "Do you think that the guy was saying
A Cessna's like
you
70.
You smell like you're like you said. It smells like it's wine. Do you think he was saying you were whining?
No.
Like he was making a joke. He's calling you out.
Oh,
would've been-
That's interesting.
Awesome.
No, because then there would have been another fucking problem on that plane.
Do you think everybody on that plane hated Gus?
I don't hate people that do that kind of stuff. It's like entertainment. It's people watching. So I'm just like, I'm not involved with this. I'm just gonna enjoy it.
Dude,
So
let me
I would
say-
have been like,
How
fine
would I
with
get
it.
hate? I got fucking water dumped on me.
If somebody ever opens the overhead bin and then starts asking other people, "Is this your bag? Is this your bag?" I'm never gonna say yes.
Why?
Because the answer to that is, can I move your bag? That's always gonna be the.
Well, but then if nobody says yes, then they just smush it.
That is the only time I've ever almost gotten in a fight on an airplane. A guy was trying to like smash a hard-sided suitcase in where I thought where my bag was, and I have a laptop in my bag, and I just started screaming at the guy. I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing? I got a laptop in my bag. It's up there." And then he was very apologetic. And the flight attendant had to come over, and I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna get fucking thrown off the plane." I said, "Fuck." So, but turned out it was okay. My laptop didn't get smashed.
And it wasn't in your bag.
No, it was.
There was no bag there.
It was. It was. I can't say for certain because it was like I'm underneath it,
Yeah, you
looking
can't
out. I don't know if he's
see
exactly
around.
smashing, but it was like in the spot where I thought it was smashing. But I do remember this one lady. She boarded like last on the plane, and she held up the whole plane because she was sitting at the end of her row.
Trying to lodge shit in.
No, she opened the bin. She goes, "Whose bags are these? Are these your bags?" And they're like, "No, our bags are like right there. My bag's right there." And she's questioning whose bag. She goes, "This is my row. This is my space in it." And it's like, that's not the way that works. Everybody on the plane was like, "You don't know what you're
no,
talking about."
yeah.
But she wouldn't sit down, and she was gonna find the person whose bag was like in her row and remove it because they had to put it in their space.
I don't know what I would do in that situation. If some woman just took my bag down and put her bag there, I don't know what I would do.
I would just be listening to my iPod like I always am. I just wouldn't
There are
acknowledge.
people who are paid to handle this.
And I'm not saying
Yeah.
that like, oh, she'd hear it from me. I literally don't know what I would do. I'd be like, would I just take it and shove it under my seat and be like, man, that sucked.
I'd probably laugh it off.
I'm not down to the point where I'm carrying a backpack for my next trip that I'm on. I can't be on the post show today, by the way.
I stopped flying.
I'm impressed by that.
It's a bad time to fly. I just stopped flying.
Yeah, just give it up.
You just driving everywhere now? Or you walking?
Catapult.
Catapult everywhere. I just said no to every single trip in July and June.
Nice.
And just because I'm going to get delayed and just waste days of my life in an airport. So I'll wait for that to figure itself out.
Weather's weird.
Then get back in the air.
Do you hear what's going on this week?
In what, the heat wave?
Tomorrow? Yeah, the heat wave that's attacking the rest of the country. Meanwhile, in Austin, we had like our third 100-degree day, which for us is not bad at all.
Not bad.
2/3 of the way through the summer at this point.
Standard weather.
Guess what we've got in 2 days? We have a low of 65 degrees
Get
in
out
2
of
days.
town.
Isn't that crazy?
That sounds awesome.
That's pretty good.
I see you typing. You gonna
looking it
verify?
up.
Yeah, look it up.
The weather was awesome in San Diego, by the way.
Of course, I'm
Yeah,
sure
it
that low
always
is going to
is.
be at night, but still 65 fucking degrees
It's pretty beautiful.
at essentially the beginning of August, where we are, end of July.
I'll take it.
That's like hoodie weather?
Yeah, it's hoodie weather, man.
You can just go out in the middle of the night, get your hoodie ready, just so you can go out at like 4 a.m.
You know what I recommend you go do? I did this with JD one time. There's a website you can go to where you just look up the ISS, put in your zip code, and it'll tell you when it's going to fly over you. It's actually really pretty cool. when
Have
the
you
ISS
seen it
flies
through
over.
a telescope?
Did you just go?
You can see without a telescope. It looks like a star basically, but it moves a lot faster.
Yeah,
Once you
it's hauling
spot
ass.
it, then it's like, oh, there it is.
There's like dudes up there too, right?
There are dudes in the space station. That is correct. There
so
are dudes.
Well, no,
there.
it's crazy. It's like that's probably the furthest away you're gonna see a dude. I didn't intend to sound that dumb. I
It's
just
not that far.
it's pretty far.
It's further than all the planes. I mean, yeah. Aside from the time we're on the moon,
Yeah, it's
probably
farthest
right.
away you're gonna see a dude.
So we just had the 30th. 30th. We said the 50th anniversary of the moon landing. What mission was that? Do you remember?
Apollo 11.
There you go, buddy. And I should remember this, but I don't know his name is Charlie. He was the
Chapman?
guy. Is that Charlie Chapman? No, what's the name of the guy who's in the
Kaufman.
what's the name of the guy who's in the control unit when they all went down the lander?
and the chocolate factory.
So it's
Michael Collins was the guy. Was there a guy?
so
Charlie
it's not Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin.
Phil Collins.
Yeah, it's the other guy.
Yeah.
And he
The guy
was
whose name nobody remembers.
Well, we also determined, and this is probably, I don't know if it's because of science or whatever, that Neil Armstrong was the most famous person we could think of that nobody could tell you what he looked like. He died since we had that conversation. So you could then, like, there were a lot of obituary photos run of Neil Armstrong when he died, but none of us at the time could tell you, I have no idea what Neil Armstrong looks like. Probably one of the most famous people in history.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell you what he looked
I
like.
feel like I knew
I know what his suit looked like.
his spacesuit.
The white one?
God.
The reflective visor.
I feel like I know
Couple
what
jokes.
they looked like.
Just
pretty
think,
well.
when they looked at the moon that night, that was the furthest away that a dude was that anyone had ever seen.
Crazy dude.
But that guy, Michael Collins, you said? Yeah. Okay, Mike said yes. When he let... What's that?
Oh, Mike's named after him.
Your name is Collins? So when he let them go in the lunar lander and they went down in that module, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, he was the person who's been the furthest away from anyone else ever. Any other human.
Right? Didn't he take that photo of like the moon in the foreground and the earth in the background?
Correct.
And it's like he took a photo that encompasses all of humanity except for himself.
Yeah, it's
Dude, that's
I've
pretty
done
cool.
that. I just
Yeah.
took a picture with a 360 camera. Job done. Everyone's in that.
Not the people who died on the moon.
Oh, he's right. Eventually, you would. I mean, I guess the plane it doesn't go 360 up
No,
and
still-
down; just goes around, right?
Well,
Like
if I
there's still.
just turn it on its side then.
But you didn't, so you didn't get it. Try better luck next time.
Also, how
So
did you
it's-
show that photo?
So is the moon deeper than the ocean?
Go ahead.
Wait.
Yeah,
Is the moon
7 miles, dude?
deeper
That's
than
nothing.
the ocean?
7 miles is like the deepest we get in the ocean, right?
Wait. What's free frame the question? I'm very confused.
Freeze frame the question.
Reframe the freeze frame.
was
The Marianas
free-framed
Trench,
the first time.
7 miles.
About 7 miles, I think.
7
yeah.
miles.
So how many miles above the moon was Phil Collins?
He was, Colin Pirtle. He was above.
the question.
What I'm saying.
Once he went
Like-
around the moon because he dropped them off, and then he went
then
around
he
the
went
other
around the rim,
side.
yeah.
So he was further away than 7 miles at that point. I think.
The orbit height was 31 miles.
Okay. And so what I'm saying is that no one's ever been that deep in the ocean, because then they would have been the most remote person.
Well, in a plane, you're.
But the moon's way further away than 7 miles. dude.
Yeah. That's what
But there were people on the moon when
but
he
if
was
you're-
there.
No, but what I'm saying is if you're 31 miles away from someone else, and that someone at the bottom of the ocean is 32 miles away from all people, he's the most remote person. Suck it.
Okay, I see.
Wait, how deep is the ocean?
7.
Miles?
Are you on this show?
My neck really hurts.
Oh,
and I'm
look it
looking
up.
around.
Marianas Trench, deepest
but
point on
tell us.
Earth, right? Marianas Trench.
Well, deepest.
Jim Cameron went down there. Everyone freaked out on Reddit that James Cameron put out the photo or the tradition where the #1 box office movie, when it's surpassed, that person will, usually the director, puts out a thing that shows like passing off the baton.
So like Star Wars had a lightsaber handing it over to the Infinity Gauntlet at one point. Sorry.
Oh yeah, that was it. But the one I always think of is when
6.83 miles.
what's that?
6.83 miles.
I fucking nailed it.
They rounded up.
With
That's
it,
impressive.
That's what?
They rounded up, you know.
I got it right, dude. It's an
you did.
acceptable margin of error when you're going down to the bottom, lowest point on Earth. Actually, if you think about it, you go higher in a plane sometimes.
Yeah, that's the farthest dude.
Yeah, but you're never like at 38,000 feet on your own.
Correct.
What if
I haven't, he's right. I haven't been.
Unless
by
you're like a
myself.
Boeing test pilot.
Well, don't they fly with two captains? With two pilots?
I'm sure somebody has flown a solo flight.
like an Air Force flight that just had one man in it go
Like
really high?
U-2 planes flew high and we had one person in them.
So, Gavin, let's say
Still
two people
couldn't
went
find
and then
what
one
they're
of them
looking
died.
for.
Would that be a person by themselves?
U2 reference?
Possibly.
Yes, it would, yeah.
Also, there's the people in the ISS.
But there's not ever one person on that.
You don't know that.
Has there ever been one man on the ISS?
Gavin, please, one dude.
Sorry.
The U-2
No, I really doubt
flies
Gavin.
at 70,000 feet. Or flew at 70,000 feet.
But that's still a crew, he's saying.
I think it's one.
So,
Joshua Tree.
so, Gavin, by your logic, are there people at the bottom of the Marianas Trench by themselves hanging out?
Or maybe someone was in one of those little subs.
Well, you're just making up bullshit like the rest of us at this point.
Well, I'm saying it doesn't even matter anyway because it's only 7 meters.
Yeah.
7
It doesn't matter now that you've disproved the thing he's been arguing for the past fucking 5 minutes. It doesn't matter.
Take us down this fucking little trail.
You know
that
what
we have
does
to-
matter? This episode of the Rooster Teeth podcast is brought to you by... I did it. I got through it.
Hi. So they. Oops.
my God.
I'm like the guy in your plane, Gus. I spilled on my phone. I spilled on my phone. I'm fine.
Your
It's
phone's
good.
waterproof.
I got that little Wayne. Who's the
You
guy?
got that little Wayne?
What's the commercial where he spills the? Is that Lil Wayne or Lil Jon? Who is it?
What are you talking about?
You know the commercial where they paid him a bunch of money to spill champagne on his waterproof phone?
Oh, I think it was Little John, wasn't it?
Yeah. Okay. There you go. That's what I'm
No,
referencing.
you said the wrong name. Don't fucking get mad at me.
I just said was it Lil Wayne or Lil
You
Jon?
said Lil Wayne first, and that's when I got confused.
No, you're confused to begin with. What are you gonna do?
I'm being gassed.
Before we get too far away from it, Avatar. So people on Reddit were pitching a fit because James Cameron put out the photo of. It was really cool. It was Iron Man with all the little things from Avatar that float onto Jake Sully.
Oh,
You know, it was Iron Man with those floating on him and saying congratulations.
that's cool.
But he signed it Jim Cameron, and everyone was like Jim Cameron. Then are we supposed to call him Jim now? Is that it? They
I've heard him be called Jim loads of times.
yeah, me too.
Isn't that his Twitter handle? Isn't it Jim Cameron?
I don't know.
I had a teacher at UT who was he was teaching a 3D course. It was a course specifically about 3D movie making.
Jim
and, James Cameron's like a huge proponent for 3D filmmaking.
And high frame rates, which seems to have died.
Yeah. So, well, he knew James Cameron super well. They're on first term name basis or whatever. He called him Jim all the time. So Jim Cameron doesn't.
Yeah.
People call him Jim.
Jim.
Earthworm Jim.
It's an acceptable nickname for James.
Speaking of your watered on story, I got shit on during a date.
By a bird?
By a bird.
Oh,
So
God.
we go to a coffee shop and she wants to sit outside. I was like, oh yeah, cool. You
Two
know.
different stories.
So like we look up and there's a bird that was just like hanging on this tree branch right above us,
Hanging or just standing?
just standing, I guess. And she kept looking at it and was like, oh, I'll get rid of this guy. So I went over to the tree, shook the tree, and he flies away. And I'm sitting down, I was like, well, anyways, where was I? And just got fucking nailed. And I felt something hit me in the head and I was like, oh God. And she's like, what? And I was like, I think I just got shit on. And then I looked and it was just like this watery green mess. And I was like, I just got shit on by that bird. And she was like, and I was like, it's okay. I'm going to go clean it off. So I like went and got some napkins and cleaned it off and sat down. I was like, well, some countries that's good luck.
It is.
But it doesn't feel like it.
It's supposed to be good. Well, they say it's good luck because the person feels terrible when they get shit on.
She also got stung by a bee on the same date.
What the fuck were you guys doing?
This is a great first date.
Were you in the woods?
No, we're at a coffee shop near the water.
The
But
water?
The joke that I should have made was like, hey, our parents should have told us about the birds and the bees.
Oh, you thought of that later?
Yeah. I was like, fuck.
So it's
I don't
funny.
think-
And then she would have said, this is very serious, but you need to get me to the hospital immediately.
I'm having an allergic
I have
reaction.
3 minutes to live.
Okay, she starts swelling up.
What if when you got shit on, you went off to clean it, and when you came back, she was gone? Were you worried?
No. That's just like, oh, well, that happens.
Gav, you shit yourself on a date with Meg. Wasn't it one of your first dates? Am I misremembering?
I wasn't one of the. Yeah, it was early there.
Yeah.
Shut myself.
So don't
And
give up,
told her.
kids.
And
You shit
told her.
yourself on a
And that
date?
was a big deal
Fine.
to her that you told her.
I felt like honesty was the best move. I was gone a while, binning my underwear.
Oh, God.
Binning it. Man.
Do you think there's one pair of just shatting underwear in every trash can in every restroom?
Like someone here must have shat themselves and thrown away their underwear here, and no one ever knew about it.
Like here
Maybe.
at work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
I don't
anybody
mean on
here-
the podcast. I mean,
Or is that like stage 5?
Statistically, it's a A lot of people coming through here. Could
Anybody
happen.
ever shit themselves? Yeah. No.
But everyone has
Nobody's
shit
seen it.
themselves.
I don't think
right?
anybody's gonna fess up to that, guys.
Can I ask you a question too? Because his thing about like being attacked by nature made me remember last week you were talking about that you were going to, or you had just started eating plant-based or alternative meats.
Yeah.
And I asked you, why is that? Because I was curious, like, what made you make that switch?
Is it moral
And you
then?
said it was for climate change reasons. Was the main
That was one of them. Yeah.
one of the main motivations. So we talked about that, and I said I think that's gonna be a big part of the reason why more and more people do that is whatever. Man, I had forgotten. I'm curious why this is. When you bring up anything that's like an environmental issue, people just get angry. They get mad about it. Like I had people writing me all the time going, well, I'm never going to give up meat. And you can't make me give up meat. It's like, nobody's talking to you.
taking your meat.
Nobody's
Yeah.
like telling you to give up meat. It's just like people get fucking furious when it comes to environmental stuff. And I don't know why.
Yeah. Or like the one that gets me is we don't know if that's the case, so why bother doing anything?
Yeah.
Or it's like, that's not going to fix it. I'm just talking generally. That's not going to fix the problem in its entirety, so why bother?
And it's not,
Like,
even,
well-
it's not even so much like when you like you tell people they should do that. It's like saying, this is what I'm doing. They get mad and
Right.
say, well, blah, 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 you know, that I'm doing this. I just wonder why that is with environmentalism in particular.
I don't know. It's true.
There was a person on set, and that's why I started carrying my like glass water bottles around. Then I stopped because one shattered at a gym. But she would bring her own utensils to set, and because you use like the plastic forks and stuff
Yeah,
like
man.
that, and she used to bring just her own metal ones, and she would rewash them. And I was like, why do you do that? And she explained, she's like, well, it's just do it so that I don't have to waste plastic. And I was like, oh, you're one person though. She's like, yeah, no, it makes me feel good. I was like, huh. And I just bought my own utensils to like switch them out.
So it worked.
It's just like one small one person.
So now
doing
it's two.
Yeah.
Is there a good way to bring around utensils that's not annoying?
See, here's
I have a
exactly
little bundle.
Like a little camping thing. maybe?
They like
Yeah.
you wrap them open and then you just slide them inside and then
And you just put it in the backpack?
you can carry them anywhere. You can carry them in your pocket. It's just like this big.
But here's the thing: is that then someone will make a comment to you going, "Well, do you understand that the cost to like make your utensils that you have for yourself instead of the ones that already exist that there's a carbon footprint higher than actually using plastic for like the next 10 years?" Like people do research to get upset about this stuff. Like they don't do this much research into their own like personal finances, but they can tell me the carbon footprint of a battery
it's
that
same with,
goes
like,
into a Tesla.
Solar panels and electric cars. It's like the carbon footprint of making those batteries. It's like, yeah, but then we don't have to use them anymore. Like we could just go onto those. We can use what we have left from
I think-
finite resources to make the renewable
Well,
resources.
And also, no one's telling you have to do this. It's like, this is the reason why I'm doing it. But people go out of their way to like try to disprove you.
The thing I'm most interested in, you talked about specifically the batteries in electric vehicles, is I'm curious to see. I feel like a lot of people haven't talked about this, but what's going to happen in the next 5 years once we start seeing a big surge of these cars enter the secondhand market? Like it's you say like, oh, if you own that car for 5 years, it's a waste. Like, yeah, true, but then it's going to replace a gasoline powered vehicle in the used market, and then we're going to start to really see a lot more widespread adoption. 5 or 6 years out. Like we're only now at a point where the cars are becoming in the realm of affordable. They're not absolutely ridiculous anymore.
Yeah, with the Model 3 and all the other.
Yeah, I mean, they
Volts
promised a
and all that stuff.
$35,000 version.
I've
of
had
that car. They still
my
can't
car
do
for
it.
5 years. Can I now say that it's net positive? That I'm making a positive.
I pulled 5 years out of my ass. I don't
did
know.
you? Okay.
I don't know that that's the
Can
actual
I
number.
now say that? Is that okay? Also, it's like if everyone moves to electric and wind, it's better. Like it'll get more efficient. As the market sustains it, there'll be more research into it as well. I think we're kind of tapped out on making coal as good as it's going to be.
I think so. The new argument I see pop up frequently, specifically with electric vehicles,
Wind
is
farms cause cancer.
well, no, it's if everyone has an electric vehicle and plug in, then the power grid can't support it all at once.
Oh boy.
Which, yeah, it's true. If everybody plugged their car in and everybody charges at the exact same time, that's probably true.
So probably like around the end of rush hour when everyone's parked and plugged their car in.
Well, I
they
mean,
just
but
have to beef up the power grid
Most
for that.
right, and the power grids are already
can
built
schedule
to accommodate
there's
that
already
to an
peak
extent.
and off-peak times, right?
And then so I'm sure most people will be incentivized financially to charge it off peak
And
hours.
it's so smart. I'm sure they could roll out firmware where it's like, okay, we see that everyone's plugged in their cars at 6 p.m. and we'll just make it so that your car doesn't start charging until there's enough things. So it was like it might start charging at 11, even if you plugged in at 6. It'll still be ready
you
by
set
the
like
morning.
a ready time.
In
Yeah,
the
it
U.S.,
only
we just do that
takes-
with financial incentives. Just electricity will be more expensive during those hours. And already on my car, I can tell it, start charging at 2 a.m.
Oh, you could do that already?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, that's great.
Delay charging.
my Nest will have like peak hours where it's just like I'm not going to turn on for a bit, but it's like it's fine. I'm not home. Like so. I think there's timers like people are kind of predicting that kind of stuff.
Do you have your AC on when you're gone?
No, I have it on away mode. I mean, I have like a minimum that I wanted to keep it at because I don't want to come home to like melted fucking books or something.
I'm big into privacy too, but I love the fact that we have so much data now about usage within individual homes. It's all collected by that. It's like, I don't know what someone's going to learn about me if I keep my AC at 71 in the middle of the day. Like, I don't know how that doxes me in any way. So I'm happy with that information being shared so that it can be used for, the purposes that you could never have that data for when you had just like the old dial thermometer. There was no capturing of that data.
I think it's good because if ever like the flayed become a thing, you can tell exactly where they live.
What are the flayed? Oh, from Stranger Things?
Stranger Things.
Did you saw Stranger Things?
I'm still working on it.
Are you?
Yep.
How do you feel about Stranger Things 3 versus Stranger Things 2?
It's better.
Much better.
Okay. Maybe I'll try it then because I was really
Much
put
better.
off by 2.
Much better.
2,
I will
thought
say there's
was
one character,
turd.
though. He showed up on the first day of that season, and they said, hey, this is what you're wearing today. And he's like, great, not knowing he was going to be wearing that outfit the entire fucking season.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. And you kind of get used to it after a while, and you're like, oh, man, that's got to be like what a weird outfit to wear for an entire production. You got to put on this, like, it's a little, like, sailor costume that he wears because he's, like, serving ice cream at the sailor-themed thing. But, like, super short shorts, this like I don't know what that like flappy lapel.
Oh, I saw a bunch of people dressed up at San Diego Comic-Con like that.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Okay, I didn't understand what it was.
I don't think it spoils anything. He wears that thing the whole
Through
fucking
thick and
season.
thin, the whole thing, yeah.
The way those productions work too. They probably had like 10 of them, and like they're different levels of distress and dirtiness and everything. And like, oh, you gotta hear it. Here's the slightly bloody one you gotta wear in this scene or something. He probably fucking hated those things.
Yeah.
Absolutely hated them. How was Comic-Con, guys?
It was good. It's just as crowded. It's been a few years since I've been there, but it's still super crowded, a lot going on.
Yep.
We got to we filmed some segments for the podcast while we were there. So hopefully I don't know when those are coming out. Hopefully those will be coming out here relatively soon. But it was good, man. The weather in San Diego is just awesome. It's like night
Eric
and
said
day
it was too dry.
going there.
Dude, compared to here, it's super dry.
Is it?
Yeah,
It was
I'm all- I feel
amazing.
like a
It was
husk.
like
San Diego's perfect.
I think it got up like the hottest it got was like 75 or 76.
Jesus.
Like the only reason to go to Comic-Con is because it's in San Diego at this point.
Yeah.
It's
Beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And
how
sometimes
many years did you guys go to Comic-Con? I went for at least 10 years.
we went, at first at the beginning, not quite 10. I think we went to 7 or 8 years in a row.
Yeah.
And then, then we started cycling in and out.
It's way too much humanity.
Which year was the Andre 3000 year? Did
That
someone
was
see him?
09 or 2010.
Catch us up. What's the Andre 3000?
Yeah, what is the Andre?
I was walking across, there's outside of the convention center, there's that street and then the rail crossing, like the railroad tracks there.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff and I were walking across that street from the Gaslamp District to the convention center. And, it's like huge seas of people that meet and cross the street. And we were near the front of the crowd. We start walking towards the convention center, and then walking in the opposite direction towards us was Andre 3000 from Outcast. And Jeff just stopped in the middle of the street and stopped walking after him. And I say, "What's up?" He goes, "That's Andre 3000." I'm like, "Are you okay?" He's
Sure, it wasn't a cosplayer.
no, it was totally him. And I was like, "Are you okay? Do you want to say hi to him?" He's like, "No. Let's just keep walking." And I was like, "Okay, well, you're the one that stopped." So we just kept walking and walked right
Jeff
by
go,
him.
hey, yeah.
No, he didn't.
I saw Hopper.
You should be ashamed for laughing.
No, please, thank you. I saw the guy who played Hopper from Stranger Things last year. I
Also
think.
Hellboy. Yeah, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't Hellboy last year though, right? Hellboy came out after that. He might have been promoting it though.
Yeah, probably. I can't remember. Yeah, I think it was last year. Did you go to any panels or anything like that?
No, I mean we were so tied up with our thing.
Yeah.
It was like all day.
Did you catch any of the coverage?
Yeah, I mean it was keeping up. I think it's easier to watch that. It's like like going to E3, same thing where it's like if you're not there, it's easier to watch the coverage.
Yeah.
When people post
Yeah.
stuff online.
Comic-Con is the thing, though, that I always go back to, which is they've been holding that event for 25, 30 years. It's been going for fucking ever, right?
50 years.
Is it 50 years?
Yeah.
Have comics been around for 50
Yes.
years?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
They had a convention 50 years ago, Eric?
Gus, I know how you feel all the time now. Yes, 50 years. 50.
50? So that
You
was
said 20, 30 years.
1970?
Yeah, it's
69?
been going on since the 70s.
Say more stuff that annoys Eric.
I don't know if it annoyed him. He was just being uppity with all like correcting me on the fly there.
Uppity.
Correcting you, said 20 or 30, 50. 50
San
is the number.
Diego
20
Comic-Con.
plus 30.
20 exactly 20 plus 30.
Are you looking it up?
Didn't they?
Yep.
Didn't they like? They pitched Star Wars at
Inaugurated
Comic
in
Con.
1970.
What they do in 1970? Were they just reading comics?
Yeah, it was comics and like nobody went.
I think Star Wars or something. They went to a convention and they were pitching Star Wars, like
It was-
77 Star Wars.
Probably like 4 kids in a basement for the first 12 years.
There was like, and like everyone was like, "What the fuck is this shitty space adventure?" And they like shit on Star Wars before
In
it came out.
1970, it was held at the U.S. Grant Hotel, and it had 145 attendees.
and that was San Diego. Well, it wasn't probably San Diego
It was
Comic Con
called-
International back then.
They had the name here. It was inaugurated as the Golden State Comic Book Convention.
So I always think of
Its guests were Forrest J. Ackerman and Mike Royer.
the convention, the modern conventions scene has coming out of the Star Trek community because they had those Star Trek conventions in like hotel ballrooms and stuff like that. They were kind of the stereotypical thing, but man, I didn't realize they went back that
They
far.
got Ray Bradbury and Jack Kirby for the second Comic Con.
That's 2 huge gets, man.
Yeah.
But back in the
That
day,
was
they were
also that was in August 1970. They had 2 in 1970.
Who did we have at the second RTX?
We had
Halo.
Oh, we had
Max Overman? No.
Elijah Wood.
Yeah.
we had Elijah Wood.
And I
Pretty
think
good.
Frank O'Connor?
Frank O'Connor was at the first one.
Good Halo 4.
Max?
I went to that one.
Okay.
The first one.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, but I was gonna say I always think about Comic Con too because they've been holding this event for, correct me if I'm wrong, 50 years.
49.
And it's like, live events, when you put a lot of people in one place, it just causes issues. And one of the things it causes is lines. And it doesn't matter if it's the fucking Super Bowl, Comic Con, whatever. Live events mean lines of people. Because it's just like when people show up, it's not like when the Super Bowl, when there's a line for the bathroom, no one goes, "What were you thinking, NFL? Like, come on, you've been holding this forever. There shouldn't be a line." You expect it. You go to a concert. That is where they expect a lot of people to be. There's still long line stuff. That fucking line at Hall H is 2 days that people wait in that line.
Something like that, yeah.
That's fucking crazy,
They
dude.
sleep in the line?
Yeah, they camp out and
Why
wait
haven't-
for and then they stay in that fucking hall all day long, going from one presentation to the next. I don't think they clear it, right?
And they
What?
watched the same thing that you watched on Twitter for a minute.
Why
Yeah.
don't they just digitize that whole process?
Because people want to be there. It's a live event, dude.
Sure, but I'm saying the line thing. Like, didn't we start incorporating digital? Like, you have a digital spot in line.
I think it's part of the culture. I think some of the people want to do that.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I
What I'm surprised by more is the people who are taken aback by that. Like, I can't believe I went to this event. There were lines. Like, I had to wait in line for 45 minutes for a panel. It's like,
Yeah, if there's a stadium with 80,000 seats, you don't expect 80,000 toilets. There's going to be people waiting.
I waited in line for, I think, an hour and a half, 2 hours to go see Ready Player One at South by Southwest. And I had a badge. Like, I had the highest level badge. They had comped us because I was on a panel. And I was there, and Ashley and Eric, who used to work for the Eric Vespi, we were waiting in line to go see this. And the whole time, and then we're not guaranteed we're going to get in. Like, we were in the overflow group, and we're waiting that entire time. I'm like, dude, if I have to wait fucking 2 hours to go see a 2-hour movie, and then I don't get in, I'm like, I got a badge. I got a full badge. It's fucking crazy.
not quite the same thing, but the original Draft House in downtown used to be like that, where they would show like one movie a night, maybe 2 movies, and you would have to show up 2 hours before the movie started.
It was like
get
that-
in line, and maybe you got in.
It was like that for far too long. They didn't have reserved seating. I think we talked about it in the podcast. I read the TripAdvisor review when they put in reserved seating at the Alamo, and somebody ranted how it's going to ruin the Alamo because it's going to kill line culture in Austin. And I was like, what the fuck is line culture? Shut up.
awful.
This is a remedy for this problem. Don't even worry about it. Unbelievable.
Were
But
people just making friends in lines? That's how they socialized?
there's a whole like Alamo community, and it's separate than the Austin film community. I know people who are in the Alamo community and people who have been removed from the Alamo
Oh,
community.
you get kicked out?
You get like cut off.
Cut off.
You're
Wow.
cut off. You're not allowed to go anymore.
Do they have to raise a little flag for the server to come talk to them?
Yeah, they put up a little thing, and everyone's like, "Get this guy out of here. He's too much trouble."
So we
Was it worth it though? Comic-Con worth it?
I think so. I think there's a lot of really cool things there. I think, walking around, you see, I can't believe I'm a sucker for it, but I didn't buy any, but it's like, oh, those are really cool exclusives.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
That's really neat. Like, I would like to have that, but I don't want to wait in line an hour for it.
I also don't want to pack it in a suitcase.
Yeah.
yeah, and
there
take
were
it home.
some things that I thought were super awesome.
Like what?
But
I saw there were like Ruby Funko things. There was also like a Chuckles
We
Funko.
could probably get you one of those.
Well, I'm just saying,
Okay.
I'm plugging our own thing here. There was also a Chuckles Funko collectible, like from Toy Story 3.
What's
the clown.
that stuff?
Like little pop vinyl figures that are like that big.
What are you talking about? It's not one of ours.
I messaged.
What's going on out here?
I messaged like 3 or 4
I just
people.
do what you do to me, correcting you on everything you say.
So we, not related to Comic-Con, we released a
49th
the
Comic-Con.
RTAA today that we did the long form one about the animation process. I don't know if you saw that. We
Yeah,
saw that.
it was like
at RTX,
Duck Amuck.
Yeah.
Was the inspiration for it.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
old Looney Tunes
where it's like
where
it's
Daffy's yelling at the animator.
right. It's like, but it's me instead of Daffy Duck going through the whole animation. Let me read this thing here. Actually, remind everyone this episode of the Rooster Teeth podcast is brought to you by Full Sail. For the second year, we're partnering with Full Sail, and we have some fun collaborations coming up. We released a new RTAA, which is out today, which features me. And like we said, it's all about the animation process and like what goes into that. And we'll talk more about that actually in just a second. We also have a special live stream coming up Thursday, July 25th at 4 p.m. Central Time with Chris Coquinos hosting, and Cole as one of the guests. Cole's actually right here. We'll talk to him in a second. Woo! Hi, Cole.
Yo, what's
You've never been on the podcast before, right?
This is my premiere.
Which seems
He's
like
been on a podcast.
not on
I've been
this
on a
pod-
podcast,
not
but
not
the podcast.
the
You're still not on
prestigious
it. You'll be on it in a
As
second.
someone
No,
who
it's right there.
was the host of another Rooster
Now
Teeth
on it.
podcast. Does it bother you when this is called the podcast?
No.
It should.
Now it does.
You should fight about
Now
it.
I'm on the podcast.
Give
Before we
switch
get too far,
seats?
far away from it, ever been to Comic-Con, Cole?
I have not.
Okay. Before we get too far away from it, Hall H, they do leave people sitting in there. The worst, like, entertainment nightmare I've ever heard of was J.J. Abrams for episode 7. Remember they marched everybody to go see the John Williams concert and they had the stormtroopers march them out? They emptied out that whole hall. And so the person who was on next, I was like, who was that? They came into an empty Hall H. It was Kevin Smith. Oh. And he came in. It was like, where the fuck did everybody go?
It's like the biggest hall.
They didn't
Yeah.
tell him they were going to do that?
Nuh-uh. They just did it. It was a big surprise. And everybody was like so happy. And they all left. And Kevin Smith came into an empty Hall H. And to his credit, he filled that thing back up like a third of the way, which is a few
yeah.
thousand people.
He's Kevin Smith.
Oh, yeah.
crazy.
Over the course of his
bummer.
hour there.
So we need you to fill Hall H, Cole, is what we're getting at.
Absolutely.
We need
Okay.
we need you to get on that. So you're going to be on this live stream, right? This Thursday
Yeah.
at
I
4
think
o'clock?
it's Thursday at 4 o'clock. Thursday 4 or 5?
4 Central.
4 Central.
You should know. You're the one on it.
Duh.
So what are you talking about? Talking about like post-production and animation? What do you do, Cole? Maybe that's what we should start. What do you do around here?
I'm an editor. My day job is editor for animation.
Your day job.
My day
What's
job.
your night job?
A lot of other things. Podcasts,
Vigilante.
Vigilante, Waterboy.
So you're going to be talking about, I guess, like the editing process and all that post-production that goes into it?
Yeah, we're going to kind of be focusing on post. It's edit for animation's a little different than edit for live action because it's a lot of bookending the process. So you have to have a lot of pre-production going into like setting up an animatic, which if you watch the video, you'll see.
You'll learn what an animatic is.
What? Yeah, they will learn. They will
Come
learn.
on, dude. I'm trying to fucking help you out.
I've actually been through that process with Cole. Cole's very good at what he does.
Oh, thanks,
Our whole
buddy.
animation
I've heard
team.
that about Cole.
They're crack
I've heard he's
team.
Not
We
shit.
did RT. No, it was
MDB. Hey.
MDB animated.
Yeah. 2 episodes. Good stuff.
Yeah, I guess editing is different because there's not tons of stuff to look through. It's like very specifically made for certain things.
The way we always say it is live action editing is very subtractive. Animation editing is very additive. So you're looking at and go, okay, we're going to need this eventually. So reach out to boards, reach out to other people and ask for these shots because you don't want to animate something that you're not going to need because that costs a lot of money.
Yeah. It's also a bummer too, like where it's like if you have like music that you've chosen after the fact and you're like, God, I just need like 5 more frames so I can have this joke hit this point in the music. And then it's like, well, the animation,
Yeah. And I know that was the case for the MDBAs, but like luckily we get to work with a lot of like really talented musicians with Jeff and his crew. So a lot of times we can send them a reference and they'll be able to get it pretty spot on to hit the beat.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's so funny too when you talk about like going through the process of being additive for editing. It's like as the episodes are built too, a big part of what I do is I review pretty much everything multiple times before it comes out. And one of my favorite things to do is watch in progress episodes of Ruby with Carrie there.
Oh.
Because Carrie just like it'll go through and you'll have like scenes that are almost fully rendered but not comped. You know, they're not like fully polished. In other words, then you have some that's just storyboards, some that are animatics. You know, at all different stages. But as it changes, as there's less on screen, Carrie's like sitting right there and he picks it up. And like as soon as it goes to like a storyboard, he goes, oh, and then Ruby comes in. She's like, what? And this other person's like, hey. And it's like, what's that explosion?
We'll have interviews with us. They'll be like, oh, well, this part isn't done yet. I'm like, yeah, we can tell. There's no.
I have trouble watching the episodes where they're finished without Carrie there making all these like noises
I
and
want to
doing
see
all
the
the
Carrie
voices.
version of all of
It's
these
fun.
episodes.
It's fun.
Can we get like a sweeted special edition?
Man,
Like,
yeah,
or,
I'll
like
record
commentary
one.
We should
track?
do commentary like that.
Yeah, you should
Yeah.
absolutely do that. All right. Well, thanks for coming out, Cole.
Well, thanks for
if people
having me on.
are interested in the animation process, they can check out the live stream on Thursday and watch our RTA that we put out today.
Still need to do anime next weekend.
Yes. Well, this weekend.
What are you going to watch?
The new Evangelion.
The rebuilds of Ava.
Yeah, what is it
Okay.
called?
Rebuild?
Yeah. I watched the
You
original
watched
series.
Evangelion when it came out on Netflix,
Yeah,
right?
and the movie. And I was, but now that I've sat on it for a while, it's a pretty good show. It's fucked.
It's well, I mean, that whole show
Cole.
like does like a thanks, Cole. Does like a head fake. Like you think it's all this story for so long. It's like so like filled with tropes and very typical stuff, and then at the end it's like, oh no, that's not what the show was
Yeah,
at all.
Totally veers into
Defied
more
expectations.
emotional
Yes.
direction.
Groundbreaking,
Did you know that Seth
revolutionary.
Rogen was like throwing shade at Game of Thrones on the Preacher panel at SDCC?
No,
Yeah.
he didn't tell me he was going to do that.
I just thought that was interesting that somebody would do that to somebody else's show. Like, he even referenced, like, I guess they're going into the final season of Preacher. Did you ever read Preacher, the comic?
No,
I'm not even watching Preacher, so I feel like that's kind of shitty that he's shitting on a very successful show.
Yeah, well, I think Preacher, especially in the first season, was poorly received because, admittedly, it was a very beloved graphic novel, which usually means a very small group of people really liked it, knew about it, and it was hard to adapt to
Screen.
to screen. And they did probably not a great job in the first season. And he was saying that like now they're going into their final season, and he was he you could tell he has faith in it because he showed his face at Comic-Con, unlike some other shows. I mean, I'm totally paraphrasing and butchering his own words, but yeah, and it was everything was construed at like Game of Thrones.
yeah, it was weird. Game of Thrones had a panel at Comic-Con, but the showrunners were not there.
First of all, why do they have a panel
Right,
anymore?
the show's over.
The show's over, right?
It didn't make any
Well,
sense.
it was over this year. It's cool, recent.
But they don't have like an Avengers panel.
Right, they're not promoting.
Do they?
Did they
Game
or
of
did they
Thrones.
not have a panel?
They had a Marvel panel.
Avengers?
Weiss and,
Marvel did.
And the other guy.
Oh no, they didn't.
No,
go.
they didn't show. They specifically said beforehand they weren't going to go.
I thought they also said, okay. Well, yeah, why is that a big deal?
That they didn't go?
Yeah.
Because people thought they were trying to avoid accountability,
No,
which is
there's
just
just
like,
nothing to promote. The whole thing's a whole promotional machine.
I do wonder why they had a Game of Thrones panel at all, though.
It's really dumb. Well, I mean, I guess I think they've started production on
That's
the
true.
prequel trilogy.
Yeah,
or
that's true. They have the other
series.
stuff coming. Why not keep the ball rolling, right? You know,
Yeah.
The
maybe at this point it would be easier to start it rolling again. But I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know why Comic-Con caught me on guard this year, but there was a lot of good shit that came out of it. Like that fucking Top Gun trailer was dope, and then the Watchmen trailer. I'm so intrigued by what the hell that is going to be.
Yeah, me too.
Is that coming out this year?
I think. Then they also had some Westworld stuff too that looked pretty dope.
Did they announce a Marvel movie that's coming out this year? Did
I think.
I hear that right? The Eternals one?
I don't think
Oh,
it's coming out this
that's
year.
fall of next year.
Oh, is it fall of next
Yeah,
year?
they have like
Okay.
7 IP titles coming out in 2020.
I recognized
Those
almost
shows.
none of them, except for like
Doctor Strange,
Black Widow and Hawkeye.
WandaVision, and
Falcon and
Falcon. I think
What's
it's-
one
no,
division?
Falcon and Winter Soldier. I
But
think.
those are all
Wanda
like those are all
runoff.
new, right?
Scarlet Witch.
Do you know the Eternals?
Vision.
There was
No.
something else besides the Eternals too.
Oh, the Asian crime fighter guy that
Yes.
probably would have been Iron Fist.
the
had-
Mandarin one?
Shang-Chi and the Legend of Ten Rings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
had I feel like they would have done an Iron Fist movie had they not made that Netflix
the-
show that bombed.
So the films are Black Widow, The Eternals, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. They're all there. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and Thor: Love and Thunder.
So I
And then
heard
a couple of TV series.
I heard Multiverse of Madness is supposed to be like a fucking horror movie, which it's Marvel. It's going to be PG-13, so it's not going to be like crazy, but that's cool. Like I love that
What
they're
If?
exploring genres. What If is a series where they take like a piece of like Marvel lore and they're like, what if this changed instead? Like, what if Captain America had never been discovered? Or, you know, like what if someone else was the Incredible Hulk? So they're going to do a cartoon series.
Really turning stuff on its ear.
Well, it's just
What if
crazy.
Hulk
like,
was blue?
they have so much shit going on that they have to resort to a what if series. Like that's,
It's a way to bring back popular characters.
I think so. Yeah.
Like they could bring back Iron Man. Like what if somebody else was Iron Man?
So is that all of Phase 4? Or is there other shit that'll be in there?
They said Blade, but I think that was like a tease for like way down. I don't know. Something will change. One of
I
these
feel
shows will drop and
always
they'll add
changes,
some.
yeah.
They'll add something else.
Is Phase 4? Because I feel like Phase 1 through 3 was all a story. Is this a continuation, or is this like the next trilogy of phases where it ends at Phase
I
6?
think they're trying to figure out what they're gonna do.
I'm trying to figure out which movie is going to beat Endgame in the
To me,
box
there's a
office.
glaring omission there.
What is that?
That Black Panther 2 is not part of that.
I mean, that Captain Marvel, Ant-Man have all been
But
confirmed.
Black Panther was like the biggest Marvel movie of all
Guardians.
time when it came out.
Maybe,
coming.
yeah.
It's coming.
But Guardians has
Also,
been announced.
that
hasn't it?
font that they chose for Hawkeye is terrible.
Dude,
is?
but the Thor Love and Thunder font is dope. I love that that's their fucking insane, wild card IP.
What's up with the Loki font?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's also.
I think they're exploring different times and stuff like that.
That
And
looks
that's
like
why
the
Loki.
Disney Plus service is going to have those too. But anyway, I was surprised by some. Like I thought when they would announce stuff, like if they announced Moon Knight or Cloak and Dagger as a movie, or even Iron Fist, it's like things that I would expect to make their way to. I have no familiarity at all with the Eternals. I don't know what that is. I'm sure John knows.
I have no idea what the big bad is going
Shang-Chi,
to be.
don't know
Why does some have Disney under them and some don't?
because they're on the Disney service.
Those
Oh,
are
that's
those
why
are
you
series.
see 'em.
Disney
series
Plus.
and not movies.
Got it.
Probably. Yeah. Oh, you know what I saw that I really enjoyed?
What's that?
I finished all of I Am Mother on Netflix.
Hell yeah.
Really like that.
Moon 2.0.
You think so? Not quite.
Oh, that
Okay.
one.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's it called?
I Am
I
Mother.
Am Mother.
Is it space shit?
Yeah. It's sci-fi.
It's got Rose
The robot that raises the kid.
Byrne. Rose Byrne plays a robot, but it's not really her. It's her voice.
It's her voice.
Great voice.
Dude, I
Hilary
watched-
Swank's in it.
Hell yeah.
Makes a return to the screen. Hilary Swank, Gus.
The robot in that
Dude,
show.
I made the mistake of watching $1 Million Baby on a plane because it was in the classic section. And I was like, okay, I know the beginning, like watch the stuff with, it's kind of cool the way it starts. I know the guy, what's the name of the guy who plays Falcon in Avengers? I can never remember his name.
Anthony.
Jeremy Renner.
No. He's in $1 Million
Anthony
Baby.
Mackie.
Anthony Mackie. Yeah, he's the guy who's in $1 Million Baby. He's like the guy who beats up the I forget his name too. I already forgot.
It's a great story, though.
$1 Million Baby?
You're telling $1 Million Baby. It's
Then
really
I,
riveting.
then
Makes me-
I went
it makes me want to go watch it again.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
So I fast forward to the end and I was just like, I don't know why I did that to myself on a plane because I was all just like a fucking mess.
Oh, you had balling?
Yeah. I was like, yeah, it's sad. By the way, I don't want to spoil it, but it's sad. Sad movie. It's very dramatic.
You don't want to spoil like a 10-year-old movie.
I know, right? Is it 10 or is it even like now 15?
Is it that?
Eric, you know all about dates of stuff. When was $1 Million Baby in theaters?
10.
Is he right?
2009?
$1 million.
Took me way too long to subtract
2004,
10.
15 years.
I nailed it with the 15.
Gus,
Eric, you want to apologize for Comic-Con to me now?
No,
Can I do it
absolutely
like-
not.
Can I do a baby rant? Just a baby Gus rant?
A baby Gus
Gus
A
rant?
little, like a tiny rant that's very
Sure.
Gus-like.
Is
You
it
don't
about the
have to- you don't have
backgrounds,
to
the
ask
shitty
for
backgrounds we
permission.
use at all of our fucking events? Go ahead.
All right. So I was watching Thor Ragnarok. This is spoilers for Ragnarok and Avengers Age of Ultron, or whatever the fuck the latest one is. Endgame. So there's a point where they find, I tweeted out about this. They find Odin Chilling in Norway. And they say it, Doctor Strange says he's in Norway. So they go and they find him and he's like, wow, look at this beautiful land. You think he's crazy. He's like, this is amazing. This could be Asgard. And then when I was watching that, I was like, oh my God. In Endgame, when they go and they find New Asgard, because the Asgardians have like rebuilt Asgard,
Yeah.
that's the spot. And I was like, wow, that's great. They set that up in Thor Ragnarok. Like I didn't remember that until I just now realized that. And I tweeted out about that, and that's more me not bragging because I can get these details. It's more just me like, wow, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, connect the dots.
This
Yeah.
universe is so rich. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but isn't this cool? Like, what a cool thing. And then I just got fucking shit on, like, you just now realized that? That's in Ireland. It was shot in Ireland, but in the movie, they say it's fucking Norway. And I don't give a fuck if you realized it the first time you saw it. I don't fucking care.
Oh, wow.
Good for fucking you.
Angry.
All right, that's me.
Well, I assume it's mainly people who are like constantly watching all the movies. If you just watch them in order, like at the theater when they came out, it's hard to remember shit from years ago. So yeah, I'm with you. I would have been like, oh, that's cool.
I just want to say, I think he cares. I think he cares a little bit.
No, I don't care that they know. Like,
I think you do.
great fucking job. But don't tell me about it.
I felt like I grew up a comics kid. There was so much stuff in the Marvel universe I missed the first time through. I don't know how I missed this. I didn't know that Andy Serkis's character is Claw from the comics, who's like Doctor Doom's little henchman in Secret Wars. And John goes, how did you miss that? I'm like, well, first of all, in the fucking comics, he's red and has a pink face. So that might be one way that I missed it. You know, the fact that it's just a dude missing his arm. But when I went back and saw it a second time, I was like, oh, I totally get that now.
When they addressed him directly in the camera and said Claw,
Right.
aka Doctor Doom's
Do they
henchman.
ever call him Claw?
Clow, I think is what they say.
Clow?
Clow.
Like, yeah, they say his full name, and I don't think everyone refers to him specifically as Claw.
Because he has an arm for most of the movie he's in.
Yeah, and then he in
then he
Black
dies.
Panther he has a sonic arm.
Because he loses it in, is it Age of Ultron?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ultron,
Ultron
Ultron
just-
chops it off.
Like without, he like doesn't realize.
And he
like,
goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry about that." Yeah,
How did he get an arm off in the comics?
I don't know. It's he's like a like 50s era villain, and he's like a scientist who was driven mad with sonic experiments and things like that.
Ulysses Clow.
Ulysses Clow, right?
Klaue.
Yeah, Klaue. Yeah. And then the character's name, the hero character is called Clow, or the Claw, the villain. So at least that's the way I always read it. But show a picture. You got a picture of this Marvel guy, Clow?
Go find it.
Let me do it.
Sounds like a noise that you'd make when you punch someone in the head.
Clow. Clow. The
Oh, you're looking for the comic version of him.
the comic version. We can all see Andy Serkis anytime we want to. I can picture Andy Serkis. But this dude is like, John was like, how did you miss it? Wait till you see what this fucking guy looks like.
Oh, he doesn't look anything like that.
No, he looks.
What? He looks like a robot.
It's like,
He looks like he works for DirecTV.
He looks nothing like. He looks nothing like Andy Serkis' character, and he even says, "Well, he has the sonic arm in Black
It doesn't
Panther.
look like that.
It doesn't look anything like
It's like
that.
an arm that opens up. It's not like a
Yeah.
fucking satellite dish.
Also, how does the elastic work on that underwear? It's all up
Oh.
and down.
You can't ask any questions.
You got to get some MeUndies on that guy.
That's like one big unitard, I think. I'm not really sure.
Whoa.
You can't say that anymore.
Yeah.
So, but that's a Black Panther villain. That's like one of the most well-known Black Panther villains. That and the other dude that, Michael B. Jordan. And like, what are they gonna do now? Because
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a good question. I was really amazed. I went and saw the new Spider-Man movie, and Mysterio was always like, I would say, what are they going to do? They're going to start using villains like Mysterio? Because it was so ridiculous. The way they did it, though, I thought was great.
pretty tastefully done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he kind of a lame character in the comics?
No. Oh, in the comics, no. He's just like, there's the era early on when they had villains that just kind of don't hold up over time. Like Superman has Bizarro or Mr. Mixelplick. That's just like
Mr. What now?
Mr. Mixelplick. He's like a trans-dimensional kind of like little elf. And the only way that you can get him, you can defeat him because he has like all these like genie powers essentially, is you get him to say his own name.
It's like a Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah, kind of a thing.
So so his orange monkey eagle is Mr. Schnitzelprick or whatever.
Mr. Mixelplick.
He looks fucking stupid.
Yeah.
I just looked him up.
Yeah.
wanna see
Or
it.
like Havoc. You remember the Flintstones when they got
was
that
that?
the
The
Great Gazoo?
Yeah, it's the same kind of thing.
There's Mr. Mixelplick right there.
Who's villain is he?
He's like a little gnome with
Superman's villain.
like a top hat, a derby on.
That just
So that was a Superman enemy?
Yeah, a really vicious one too.
Why did Superman just cave his head in?
Yeah, because he's got genie powers and like he can do stuff.
That was his power, genie power?
Yeah, like he's got magic and he can do stuff. He can make shit happen like that.
He appeared in Superman number 30.
man, they were running out of ideas at 30. I guess they're like, the dude's invincible. What the fuck do we throw at him?
Well, they were probably mining like fairy tales, like Rumpelstiltskin.
He comes from the fifth dimension. That makes sense.
Yeah, he's transdimensional. The fifth dimension.
Not the fourth, the fifth.
The fifth dimension.
Here, let me read this thing. Remind everyone, this episode of Receipt Podcast is also brought to you by. Okay,
It's really good. Ad
you
read.
had your baby Gus rant. I want to have my own
Oh shit.
baby
Go.
Gus rant.
Wait, the water thing wasn't the rant.
Is it
No,
about the shitty
that was a
backdrops we
story.
have at events?
No,
Okay.
it's Face App.
I don't know
what
about,
about it?
that.
It's like, haven't we already been through this? Like, everyone's like, oh, look, this is me as an old person. Didn't we go through this 2 years ago? And it's the exact same cycle.
Well, I think it looks good now.
Where everyone posted it, and then like 2 weeks later, they're like, "Oh, you got to be careful. According to the terms and conditions, the Russians own your images now." And we just did the exact same thing again with the exact same fucking app. It's like we went back to 2017 for 2 weeks. Everyone forgot. We did it again, and then the news articles just come out the exact same way
Well,
again.
we just did it like a few months ago with the people swapping their gender.
Right.
Right. They went through all
The
that
Snapchat stuff.
Yeah.
Those babies before that.
But specifically, we went specifically through Face App.
Yep.
Like the exact same app, the exact same old filter.
So what's the concern? Is that people giving away their image. Or
The
giving
concern
away
is
their
I don't want to
face?
see what people look like old again. I saw
Right,
it 2
I know,
years
but
ago.
what's the huge security issue?
They
with it?
say that I guess the license allows them to use any image you upload.
So,
for
like,
whatever
say
So
if
if
they're-
someone does my image, they have my face even though I didn't do it.
right.
Surely
Like,
it's
it
on the-
doesn't make sense.
Right.
Also, like, what are they going to use it for? Like, advertisements? Like, if you put yours in, or it's like, this guy takes
Deep fakes?
Yeah, like his penis fell off. He takes this medication.
Stealing facial data, but it's like
What? It's my face. is
just
already out
run
there.
it through Google. Like there's all the faces you need.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
my face has been done 100 times. I've never once downloaded that app. I've never used it. It's just people just give it my face.
Yeah, same
own it.
here. Anyway, I don't understand why we're doing it again.
Eric, I'm
We
going to send
just
you
finished
something
it.
that Gus is going to like. It's going to bring him down.
What's up with the backgrounds at the live events?
Oh, fuck me. All right. So I've been on this rant internally for a long time.
Prepare your rant.
We don't even have to. People are listening to this podcast on audio. I can't talk today. And I don't want to put up images of it. Just look up anything like RTX panel, Rooster Teeth panel.
Like
Whatever.
the vinyl.
We put up behind us. We put up this always like a backdrop.
It's called step and repeat.
It's called a step and repeat. You always see them all the time. Like when people go to like a premiere and they're standing in front of the HBO logo and they have this cool little background or whatever. Ours always look like we took down a college dorm shower curtain and hung it up behind our people. And it's just like, I see them all the time. And I'm like, I have meetings with people. I'm like, fix these fucking backdrops. It looks
Because
ridiculous.
they're like creased. You got like sheen from the
It
lights
literally-
on some of it.
It's like one of those like green sheets that a new Twitch person throws up over their furniture in the background. That's what it looks like to me. And I know you guys spent some time on it, Eric. You failed miserably at trying to make it look good for Comic
We
Con.
spent an hour and a half.
Trying to
An hour
straighten
and a
it,
half
right?
trying to clean it. Yeah.
First of all, don't make these things fucking glossy. Make
Yeah.
them matte finish. That way they don't reflect every fucking crease in
Who
the
prints
thing.
them?
I don't know.
But then you'll say the same if they get stained on them. It's like let's make them glossy so we can wipe them.
We clearly don't use the same ones again and again. These are like single use from what I can tell. Who the fuck cares? Did you pack that thing up and bring it back, Eric?
I actually have it. Do you want it?
I would love it.
Dude,
I want to
would
put
you
it
really?
behind me to show you what it looks like.
Let me grab it.
Oh, I want to see it. I want to see how shit it is.
I think Eric's not going to go and get the step and repeat. He's just going to get in his car and go home. He's just going to leave.
He's going to actually go get it. He's
Eric,
running.
did you, Eric, I sent you that thing though. Oh, can you guys play the clip?
Eric just
Sorry
quit.
for the audio listeners. This is a image, but you can find this on Data is Beautiful.
Do you think Eric
somebody
ran
went through
home?
and charted in motion graphics 10 years of Steam activity? So you guys can play that. It's
Stream?
fucking amazing.
Oh, like the game per game?
Yeah. So this is game activity over the course of 10 years
does-
on Steam. And you can see as games come out that they like suddenly soar up.
Oh,
Hey, go
don't
back,
cut
back.
away.
Yeah. So right now the lead is Counter-Strike in June of
Counter-Strike
2011.
and Source were both up there.
We're like 5 years from PUBG coming
Elder
out.
Scrolls came on and then fell off fast. Look at that.
Well, it's a single player game.
It'll come back. Don't worry.
Yeah. Look at Dota 2 shows up.
So fluid and fun to watch. Oh my God, Dota's kicking
What is
ass.
it? What is the game you're waiting to show up though on Steam?
PUBG?
PUBG, right?
Overwatch. Wait, no,
No,
Overwatch.
it's
Overwatch
a
is
battle
on
net.
Steam.
So CS:GO was
Man,
kind of
CS
challenging Dota 2 for a
CS:GO's
while.
got legs.
Oh, FIFA 15
what about Rainbow
came
Six?
out. Oh,
Look at Sid Meier's Civilization 5 hanging in there though.
GTA
Ark.
5.
Ark's got to run.
Gary's mod, bloody consistent.
I'll say
Ooh, Dota
Rocket
almost
League
hit a
is
million.
there.
GTA 5
Arma?
did shit.
Oh, it's coming back.
It's going down.
There's PUBG.
Just PUBG.
Whoa, whoa.
Oh! Look at that. And how far do you think it falls?
0.5 million.
So we're watching these things. PUBG came on and
Oh,
completely changed the
Fortnite.
scale for the rest of it.
Fortnite came out.
Yeah, but that's the Epic Store. That's
No, I
different.
know, but that's why PUBG went down.
This
But
tracks.
PUBG's still hanging in there.
All right,
Like
up
July
there.
of 2019,
There's
PUBG.
still a
With Dota and
million
CS:GO.
active players.
I got handed
Yeah.
to Dota. That's crazy.
That isn't that a cool graph
That's
though?
awesome.
That was really cool to
Have you-
watch. So let me read this to you so you guys can look it up. It's from user Sick Graphs on Reddit, and you can get 10 years of Steam activity. So you can just look that up on Reddit.
Have you seen the ones with the YouTube subs?
Can you help send that up, Eric?
Oh, there's no setting it up.
Oh, here we
Oh,
go.
look at this thing. It's got like gaffer tape on it.
Drew decided that we're bringing this back.
Drew Saplin?
Yeah. He was out there.
Why did he put gaffer's tape on it?
Because
Though?
This is gonna
had
take
to
an
pack it
hour.
up.
This is gonna take an hour and a half to take all this gaffer.
Get a
tape
knife.
off it.
Let me get a knife.
Okay,
Let me
go
cut
do
it
that.
out.
That's not a
Don't
knife.
throw a knife.
Throw the knife.
Anyway, I thought you would love that, Gus. So you got to look at data
Yeah.
there for 30 seconds, and that
No, I
would
like
make
that.
you happy.
I'm a happy Gus now.
Did you see the thing I sent you of the plane engine that
Oh,
somebody's
God,
filming with a
yeah.
part like rattling around inside the plane engine. Just like
It's like the cone from
the
the
cone
front.
from the front of it.
Is it
somehow,
red hot?
Somehow
Looks
came
like it.
loose. Yeah,
Fuck.
it looks.
It's fine.
Oh, have we-
They didn't. They just went meh, from Austin to Houston.
Yeah,
Have
then
we-
they just go. Wow.
I was on a plane recently. It was probably the last flight I was on coming back from Paris. And I was just looking out the window. And it was like a paid trip. So I was in business. So I was like sort of spewed out, just zoning out, looking out the window. And I swear I saw a plane come the other way too close. Like, what is the biggest a plane should be through the window?
How-
Like a dot going by, right? The other way?
I always there's some airports where you land in tandem because
I
I don't
did
think
that when I landed in Houston.
you can't trail too far behind because you get
Oh, this
jet
was
rush.
This
so
was like really high. This was
I
like-
have landed like next to a plane and I thought that plane is way too fucking close.
How
It's
far-
like that's like if it was like a dude plane, it'd be like that dude is too close.
what? How big was the plane?
It was another full-size commercial airline, and I swear it was like 10 wing spans away. Like I could see the windows.
Was it like a chonky plane? Was it a Chad plane or a Chode plane?
For a commercial airliner, the separation will usually be 3 miles laterally.
It was not.
Yeah.
Let's go around the back.
I honestly worried. I was like, wow, I think I almost just died.
All right, I don't know if you can hear me. Look at this thing. Look at this.
That's a good looking step and repeat.
That's awesome.
It
That
looks
look-
great.
that-
The print looks fantastic.
Yeah, it does.
No, that
It
looks
looks
great.
really cool, right? Look at all like the chickens. This one's got his mouth open.
It's got a bunch of lines over
It's
it.
cool.
Did you bring a gaffer?
Look at that thing. It's just like
Hold it taut. Get rid of that slack. There you go.
Hold it at such an angle that it doesn't reflect
Yes.
all this like
Talk into your microphone.
awful. It looks terrible. I'd rather not have it. I'd rather not have it. I challenge you.
Hold it up to the air. Put it so it fits across
I
the whole
challenge
thing.
anyone to find a photo of us doing anything where we have a backdrop behind us and it doesn't look like absolute garbage. And I can't find a photo of anyone else in the entertainment industry who is in front of one of these things and it looks that shit.
It looks
look,
great.
Look at the light on it.
Wow.
It looks garber.
Can we turn off the gobo?
No one's there.
You got the light.
Audio listeners are absolutely hating every single second of
Watch
this.
it
By
on
the
the
way,
website. What do you want?
it's a big crinkled fucking shower curtain is what it looks like, and you can look it up. Look up anything. RTX panel. You guys, I saw you guys. You guys look like for the San Diego Comic Con thing. You look like you were in a closet and with a shower curtain.
But let
hanging
me
on
ask
the
you
wall.
this.
We're on a boat.
What is your
Were you?
solution?
Yeah.
That was on a boat.
Oh, can we talk about the boat?
What do I care? Go for it.
So-
It's great promotion for a video coming out soon.
There was a big boat.
I don't want to hold this thing.
Yeah, get out of here. There was a big boat. It was awesome. It was like it was docked in that marina right behind the convention center.
Yeah.
It said Warner Media. It had like the Rooster Teeth logo on it. It was fucking cool. It was this huge yacht.
Was it crinkled?
We weren't on that boat.
Okay.
There was like, if you look at that boat, it's like, wow, that boat's fucking cool. Then they're like, no, that's not your boat.
You're in the dinghy.
You're in the other boat. It's like, and then next to it was like this Arctic research vessel. It's like, well, that's weird. Like, no, keep going. And then next to that was the Admiral Hornblower, which is like this little like, well, it was still a big boat, but it was like this weird like 3-level barge. So we got on that boat, and the whole time we were on that boat, you can like see over at the Warner Media one, like that boat's really cool.
So all the important people and famous people
I
on the
think
water media.
all the press and all like the interviews were happening on the Admiral Hornblower, so that's why we were over there. It was still a great boat.
It was an awesome boat.
It was
free
awesome.
food and free drinks all day.
But it was just weird to see like the super luxury one right there. It's like that's cool.
So what would you make that fixes that problem?
You make it out of fabric, something you can pull tight, and you could even do it out of vinyl if you just didn't do a glossy finish on it. Those things are not supposed to be glossy. Anything that's going to be photographed, especially with a flash, shouldn't be fucking glossy.
I think for the next week's podcast, you should have a replacement that you made.
Eric,
show us how it's done, Bernie.
Eric, I got to meet you after this. I need you to order something for me.
Also, isn't this going to be Pizza Sphere? What's going on?
Yeah, I just got back from San Diego yesterday.
You're delaying.
Can we do Pizza Sphere next Monday?
Yeah.
What's pizza?
That he's got to think of a delay.
It's
That's
a
what that pause
spherical
was.
pizza.
Hey, speaking of boats, though,
You gonna project it?
What?
Gavin and I have something upcoming. The Discovery Shark Week episode of Immersion
Yeah.
is airing August 3rd at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Eastern Pacific, I think, is the way that goes. And then if you live in other time zones, you can calculate from there. But everyone should absolutely program their DVRs right now for the Immersion Shark Week special that will be airing August 3rd at 9 p.m. And we're going to have a special guest on next week. We talked about him last week. Luke Tipple, our shark expert. He'll be on to talk about the show. We'll probably keep the podcast spoiler free, but then we're gonna be like probably spoiling the episode before it even comes out.
Yeah.
Some of it in the post show, so you can delay watching that post show if you want to.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna have him on. Great, really fun dude,
showed
really great guy.
A little bit of that at the San Diego Comic-Con panel. A little bit of the Shark Week immersion.
Yeah, we did a little bit.
Didn't you announce Arizona Circle's release date as well?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I want to bring this up this week because I don't want to bring it up when Luke's here next week. That the place where we went in the Bahamas where we shot that first thing, we're like off the back of the boat with all of those fucking sharks. A lady got killed there. 21-year-old lady got killed in that spot. 3 sharks attacked her at one time. Not that spot specifically, but like right there in the Bahamas. And supposedly that never happens where
What
3
was
sharks
it?
will
Was it
attack.
tiger sharks?
Yeah, I think some of them were tiger sharks. So
When did that happen after your thing?
that was the big focus for like right after ours. I've had 2 like things like that recently. There was that where I was convincing Michael and Gavin that at the end of this episode I was going to put them in the water with sharks without a cage. And then the other one was I was doing an event with Jeff in New York.
He just told me about this.
And I tried to convince him to take the helicopter from JFK in because it's like $300 to fly in. I go, do it. You got to do it. You got to do it. And he's like, I can't. I'm like, I know it's $300, but do it. And he didn't do it. I came into Newark, so I didn't have to like live up to my own bet. I didn't have to spend $300. So I just took a cabin as well. The helicopter crashed the next day. It wasn't the one that Jeff would have been on, but while we were in New York, that helicopter went into the fucking
Like that
Hudson.
service?
Yeah, went into the
did
Hudson.
they die?
No, I don't think anybody died. I think they all got out okay.
Oh, thank God. Helicopter
Yeah.
crashes. Those are you don't survive those.
It's like the only time you ever hear about helicopters when it crashes.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've been in a helicopter once when I was in Australia, and I think that might be one of the last times.
I've never
Just
been
didn't
on
feel
one.
safe?
I want to be on one.
It like I felt safe and stuff like that, but like, dude, it just I don't know, man.
Hey.
A lot of shit could go wrong in that thing.
Coffee Break on the site has it's a great name, Coffee Break. He has a good point.
It's
Are you-
coffee. COUG.
They have a good point. I
That's
don't
why
know.
it's funny.
Guy roll.
Coffee.
Eric, you're not going to use our guest next week as an excuse not to do the pizza sphere, right?
Does he want pizza sphere?
Luke can have pizza sphere.
Of course. Who wouldn't want pizza sphere?
What is
He'll
pizza
love it.
sphere?
Eric, tell Blaine what's pizza sphere.
It's a spherical pizza. Every bite is pizza. You're gonna go, oh, it's like a hot pocket. No, it's not like a hot pocket because you bite in the middle of the hot pocket. There's no pizza at the top, right?
Whoa. It's like
crazy.
it's like a
The
Death
sphere
Star
of
of pizza.
Yes.
Yeah,
Everywhere,
Death Star
360
pizza
degrees,
is
bro.
way better than pizza sphere.
Come on.
Death
That's
Star
cool.
pizza? That comes with some gravitas.
Then you got to have like a cutout little circle filled with marinara sauce.
Yeah, or giant pepperoni.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Even better.
I recommended to people while they were in town for RTX that they go to Home Slice and get the garlic knots there. I got many tweets
that-
confirming that I was right.
That's no calzone.
That those
That's
are
a pizza sphere.
those are amazing garlic knots.
That caught me so off guard.
I discovered what my superpower is.
What's
I
that?
think I can fall asleep really well. I can wake up. I can set my clock, my internal clock, to wake up. I wake up 5 minutes before my alarm every time, or I'll wake up and I'll see my alarm like switch over from like 6:59 to 7 and then go off.
You like watching people eat? You like eating leftovers?
Dude, I really do. I really do. But this goes in line with I've never had food poisoning. I read an article that was posted on Reddit, and it was, I guess, published by Advil, that 5% of the population never has headaches.
Like they go their whole life without ever having
I
one.
never have headaches. I until I was like 17, maybe a little bit older when it was legal for me to be drinking, until I was like that age though, I didn't know what a headache was. I always heard people talking about them. I was like, so it's like you feel like you cut your head? Like I couldn't figure it out. It was like a muscle ache in your head. I just didn't know what they were.
Man.
And yeah, I've gotten what I call headaches from drinking, but I just kind of assign that bad feeling of malaise and just call it a headache when it's really just kind of being hungover. But
Never had a migraine?
other than that, I've had an ocular migraine, but
So have I.
there was no pain associated with it. In fact, it freaked me out because I got that rainbow
Yeah.
shit. But I don't know if that counts as a thing. But I have had an ocular migraine. But I can honestly say in my life, maybe like 2 or 3 times over the course of 46 years of being alive, I've had a headache. It's just like, I've always thought that was such a weird thing. And then I realized now 5% of people don't have headaches ever.
Do you
That
think?
is
Do you
a
think?
really good superpower.
Do you think Advil's working on a way to give those people headaches?
Probably.
Like that's market growth. There's 5% more we could be selling.
Dude, I read. I didn't save this one. I totally should have saved it. I read a story about that in the 90s, one of the major tobacco companies tried to convince the Eastern European government to increase consumption of cigarettes because they showed how people died earlier, and it would be less of a strain on public services.
Oh yeah.
Did you read that?
Yeah, I saw that.
That's like in the 90s, like after the tobacco companies had been called out on everything, they were still doing shit like that. That's fucking nuts.
So they're like, hey, you want to trim up your population?
Yeah.
Push cigarette.
Push cigarettes.
So like, did anybody blow the whistle on them? Like what
they
did the
must have.
government-
Otherwise, how else would that information get out there?
Good God.
Like somebody from the tobacco company was like, hey, you know what we did once? We're trying to convince this Eastern European government. Was it Croatia? Something?
It was. I don't remember which country.
I'm sure we
but I
can
did
look this
see that,
article
That
yeah.
is
up.
so fucked up.
It's just pure evil. At what point do you go like, I'm an evil person. I am genuinely evil in what I'm doing.
Like money-based decisions that affect the lives of millions of people.
Right, and you could just make even like doing a study that like the sugar industry pays you to do the study, and you just say, yeah, sugar's great.
It's like doctors in the 50s, like smoking satisfies your Q zone, or like whatever bullshit stuff they had to
I only
say.
smoke Chesterfield.
Right, it's got the extra filter.
I wanted to do Get Fact. I want to do a thing on tobacco where we had kids like. I just love Clementine, where she's like, whenever she's on, she just makes me laugh my ass off. And I was gonna have Clementine be like, "Hey, you want this brand of cigarettes?" She goes, "Those are for babies." It's like, well, sure, babies do love these cigarettes, and then have like a baby with a cigarette, but they're also for toddlers. You know? But I don't know if we get away with that. We did put a baby in a
Jesus.
cage for Get Fact.
Yeah, I was in that one too.
Yeah.
Well, I
I mean,
got a
you
lot
can
of.
do anything as long as the kid isn't actually harmed.
No.
Well, the thing is, like, people were like, "Wow, cause Child Protective Services, blah blah blah." And it's like, no, the kids were having a great time. Becca was like just off frame.
Also, you could tell, like, after the establishing shot of the kid in the cage, that, like, they framed that part of set out the rest of the
Yeah.
time to, like, frame out that the kid wasn't in the cage.
Yeah,
Isn't that when you were dying? Like when you were shooting the kid in the cage bit?
man, I was just shitting my guts out, dude. I lost so much weight. I looked fucking cut. It was awesome.
No. What's wrong with you? Just taking water pills.
Yeah, I had an ocular migraine, which I don't think I've ever had before, in the middle of that immersion.
You did.
Was it the sun?
It made one of the tests very difficult.
Was it like the reflection of the sun on the water, or
I don't know what it was. I just couldn't see the middle of my vision.
Yeah.
Man,
It was like because you have the bit where your eye connects to the nerve or whatever. There's a big blind spot, and your brain just kind
It's
of
where the nerve comes into your retina.
yeah.
That's like
you can't see it.
Right.
You can't see through that, so your brain
just
just
fills it
fills
in.
the gap. But my brain was doing that to just the middle of my vision, so I had to kind of like look around it. And if I got the perfect distance away from someone, I couldn't see their face. I would just see like their hair on their neck, and wherever I'd look, it would like shift up and down. I'm like, I can't see what you're saying to me right now.
Jeez.
And then I was trying to
see
swim.
what you're saying.
Well, I couldn't see a mouse, so I was like I'm struggling to like being in a foreign
It was
country.
kind of scary. It was kind of scary.
Yeah, and then I was like in the ocean. And I was like, this does not feel good
I
right
see
now.
a fin, but I don't know if the.
Is that shark smiling? Or
Spoiler.
Would you say that is the most inconveniently timed like thing that your body's done to you?
Yeah, but I feel like it was somehow caused by the situation. Like I wasn't in a regular
Stress-related?
situation, or just like I don't know, being on the water all day, being out in the sun all day. I don't know.
yeah, they don't really
It
know what
wasn't a-
causes them.
It wasn't a regular day, so in my head I was like, feel kind of strange.
I lost a contact while skydiving once, which was very unfortunate because I had to land. So I was like, "Ah." And then I
Fortunate because I had to land.
I got a
I
fucking
didn't have the option.
I got a fucking you're gonna canker sore.
Yeah, sure.
Got one of those when I was in Japan, and it was just like all this delicious food, and I
It was
just
like an ulcer.
this shitty fucking it's just like an open wound in your mouth. It
No,
was
you know what?
the goddamn worst.
You know what you use for those? My aunt made me try this salt. Or do you remember that? What tincture methylate? It was they called it monkey blood. Did you have that when your kid get a
No.
cut?
What?
Is that
And
the
it
Superman villain?
had like a little stick, had a little stick, and it was just like I guess it's like iodine is probably what it is because it's like it leaves a stain on your skin too.
Sounds like iodine.
But yeah, you use that, and it's like fucking hurts like hell, like really, really bad. But then it's done and it's over. It's kind of like the thing of that debate you have when you're a kid. If you could feel all the pain in your life like all at once, would you do it? But then you never feel pain again.
Yeah.
That's kind of like that.
Yeah.
So you have to steel yourself. And you go, and then you're like, you're fine.
God, would you do that?
I would all the pain in the world for like how long? How long?
All the pain in the world.
I mean, sorry, all the pain in my lifetime
What if it was just all back to back?
No
for
way.
like a week.
Yeah.
No, I would want to die. No.
Yeah. It'd be bad.
No.
Right. You just want to have like the intensity of it all overlap.
I think you'd have like a specific moment, be like, "Oh my god, what the fuck is that?" Like
Yeah.
you know something's gonna happen to you at one point.
God, I could not go through the testicular torsion again.
Oh,
I could not do
just a
that.
day and a half devoted to balls.
I had my leg blown open by some shrapnel here. Got a scar on my knee. I would take that 100 times over that.
Pirtle, do you know
testicular
what monkey
torsion.
blood is? Tincture methylate, put on cuts. Good. Okay. This is like a. This is like
This
a.
is like going
The old man
generational.
portion of the podcast.
Yeah. I just want to make sure that I'm not just like. I want to make sure it's an age thing and not just like I was like surrounded by lunatics. Yeah. This stuff. Tincture methylate. Yeah.
Okay, you showed it to me. I still don't know what the
Okay.
fuck that is.
Tincture.
Here, let me read this thing over here.
Tincture.
I want to remind everyone this episode of the Rooster Teeth podcast is also brought to you by. Did you see?
Apparently, it contains mercury. Maybe that's why they don't use it anymore.
Maybe that's what the sting was.
Yeah.
Did you see that really stupid video from a couple weeks ago of the people doing? I think it was in Australia. The people doing the gender reveal burnout in their car.
Yeah, they had the tires that were colored.
Oh, and it burnt the car
Yeah,
up.
then it caught fire, and the whole car caught fire.
Oh my
and
God! Really?
They
burned.
took his license away for I think 6 months.
They did?
Mm-hmm.
What
Yeah.
for?
Because he was driving like an asshole. So like, yeah,
So
And
he
then-
should,
and then
he
posted
should've-
it?
He should have
Yeah.
done it on private property. Was that the issue? Like it was a road?
Well, it seemed like it was maybe.
Like surely you could trash your car on your own property.
It might have been like a country road. It didn't seem like it was very.
Take
it
me
was very
home.
busy. Yeah.
What do you guys think about
Let me see-
Instagram likes going away?
I think it's a good move.
Fine.
what's the argument for?
Yeah.
So Instagram likes they are going to. Oh wow! You guys are showing this photo of the video of this car.
It's a boy.
It's a Hellboy.
Spoiler: it's a boy. It's pouring out blue smoke, and then all of a sudden it
It's a black
ignites.
It's a demon.
Like the whole thing goes up.
Oh, there they go.
So
they pulled it up.
Instagram is testing in several countries.
I think this guy would have gotten a lot of likes.
US is not yet one of them, where you still get likes and you can see the likes on your photos, but you can't see the likes on other people's photos. So no one will ever know how many likes one of your photos got.
Do you think they'll do that with YouTube views?
But like, why does that matter? I mean, I'm fine with it. That's cool. Is it just because it makes people less concerned about the impact of a video?
Yeah, the
post?
pressure of like getting more likes than
I would say, yeah, I don't like it when I post something that's like, oh, that got less likes than the other stuff around it.
I will say if it's a tweet and it's like, oh man, this is a fucking banger tweet. I love this thing. And it gets like, but then, some dumb shit that you type on the toilet is just like,
You'll still know that. You'll still
Okay,
know
have a
that
look
it
at
got
that.
less likes.
oh, okay.
But other people won't be able to see it.
Got it.
Yeah,
Like-
you just click on like I think the way it said was you click on the name of your friends who've liked it, and then it pulls up all of that
So
stuff.
I'm just gonna start putting pictures like, thanks for the 1 million likes on my last Instagram.
That's what somebody said. You can
Just
just see a
start
bunch
lying.
of the of photos that people put up like that. Like there was a weird thing when they started stories. People would just post photos of text, like that they would just write text and post it up there. It's like I'm glad that we got away from that. I hated those text based images that people were posting.
Yeah.
Yeah. My only argument against it would be like, let's say some obscure company like Marvel makes a really stupid decision and they're gonna like, we're recasting Hawkeye or something, and everybody's like doesn't like that. You won't be able to tell that the negative feedback to them is, like you wouldn't be able to gauge that was a poor decision.
By a lack of likes?
By
Well, I mean,
like
like
a lack of feedback. I feel like the
Is that a
still
bad
see
thing
the
though? 'Cause
comments.
do the likes really measure anything at all? Like,
Well, yeah,
I
like
worry the effect that people have when they think they like something, they're making an impact, and they're really not.
true.
Also, I don't like the pressure, especially for young people, that they have this feeling of like I grew up in a world where I didn't have a number next to my name. I think they should do it with follower accounts too.
You know what? That actually supersedes what I just said.
Yeah.
I think that's way more important.
Yeah, it's like I can't fathom what that's like. So like,
Social.
I mean, we had like popularity when I was in school, and like the cheerleaders and the athletes were more popular, but it was this unquantifiable thing. If it was like 1,004, it's just like it sucks to have
Maybe
to grow
it's
up
different
with that.
with a dislike system. Like I feel like because YouTube displays dislikes, I feel like people just pile on. If it's like, oh, everyone hates this video, let me log into YouTube and hate it as well. Like the YouTube Rewind from last year.
They should not have
They
dislikes.
encourage it.
I don't think that would have been the most disliked video if there wasn't a visible counter. I feel like people were actually then trying to make it as disliked as possible because you could compare it to the previously most disliked video.
But there's one exception to that.
What?
That's the Futurama clip of the people from the
Oh.
neutral planet.
It's 50-50?
Yeah, they're from the neutral planet that says, I have no opinion whatsoever. What is it? Something like that?
Yeah.
One way or the other. And the likes are like off, I don't know what it would be
Like
today.
now?
Off the charts.
Still.
Like 200,000 likes, 200,000 dislikes. It's
That's
always dead even.
awesome.
And people work to make sure it's even.
That's great.
That's
Yeah.
so
Let's
good.
see, it is. Where is it? Oh, shit. Where the fuck is it? There it is.
There it is right there.
Has 8.8 million views. It's 458,000 up, 458,000 down.
Great. That's great.
That's like the one
That's so
reason
funny.
why I would want to keep dislikes on YouTube, but that's about it.
I would say like when I was in middle school and social media was like really taking off with like MySpace and Zynga.
Yeah.
It always bothered me. I had my friend Ryan. Ryan was so fucking popular and he had just way more friends and that kind of wore on me. I was just like, man, this fucking sucks.
Yeah, it wears on you. It shouldn't, but it's like I get why it does.
Yeah,
right?
now I'm way more
You have to-
popular
you
than
beat
Ryan.
him now, though, yeah.
Fuck off, Ryan.
Fuck you, Ryan.
Did you see my Disney princess engagement tweet?
Yeah,
that went off the
Ryan.
fucking charts. Yeah, Blaine's probably gone viral.
Yeah, you have so many number one on Reddit moments.
You might have passed Zach Ganner at this point. 'Cause Zach Ganner's like the guy that I knew that had gone viral the most individual amount of times. But you've had like a bunch of different stuff go viral.
I've gotten weird ones too. Like I think I was just on like some Garfield subreddit for the Garfield shit.
What was it? I'm sorry, John. Oh yeah.
And then there was like things white people do. There's like a Uber tweet, and then there was another one. I don't know.
Your
It's
date
like,
by yourself went viral too.
that, and then the one where I tipped my hat like Milady. It was like oh god, what's that Reddit with I don't
Forever Alone?
know something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
You should collect them all. Take a screenshot, and print
Yeah.
them out, put them above your bed.
Is
Be
there
like,
someone that
"That was
keeps
me."
track of everything that was number one on Reddit?
I don't know. Maybe in Data's Beautiful or something like that. I don't do it.
By the way, really misleading name. Data is rarely beautiful on that subreddit.
That was beautiful. What we
But a lot of
saw.
times people compile data and they post it there like, oh, this is garbage. It looks terrible.
Well,
was a-
people have that about big subreddits in general. Like pics, the ongoing thing is like people write a story in the headline. Hey, this is my niece.
Yeah.
You know, she was diagnosed with cancer. She's been through 8 rounds of chemotherapy, you know, and that was 10 years ago. And now here she is graduating high school. And then someone will always like in the top comment be like, picture of girl at graduation. That's actually
Yeah.
what the picture is without the story they're saying the picture doesn't tell that story.
Or also
it's
like
just
this,
picture of girl at graduation.
or this is a stolen photo. You made up the story just to get people
That's
to upload
weird,
it.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like someone shows up and goes, "That's literally a picture of me," and that is not at all the story behind that. I would love to like follow up with people.
Don't
like
you want to
that.
be viral for something you did? Or like a joke you made?
just-
Why would you just make up?
Going off this mildly interesting, I was top of that, but it wasn't me. I posted a picture of I'd accidentally zipped my hoodie into my jacket and it fit perfectly. And I was like, oh, that's weird. Posted it, and then someone stole that picture and posted it for me. And they're like, oh, look at this thing that happened to me. And I was like, oh, that's
Barbara had that with like a photo of boxes she took in your old office. What?
what?
What did you say over there?
Yes, that happened.
What
You took
happened?
the photo?
I took the photo initially,
Yes.
like 5 years before that, and then she took it again. She took a different photo, but the same style of boxes.
and hers went viral and
Hers
yours
did,
didn't.
yes.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
How often do you think about
But
that?
hers gets reposted all the time.
You know what I've been thinking about doing? And I've been trying to find a time to do it. I'm thinking about really modifying my social media accounts because I'm just increasingly less enthralled with social media in general.
Do it.
And I've been thinking about making a change some point in the future, probably like in the next 2 weeks. I will take my accounts private. I've been talking to Gavin about this for a long time. Just like make them private. Like I have enough people following me. This is enough. You know, I'm not worried about. And when I said to you, Blaine, you said, "Aren't you worried about growth?" I'm like, I'm not at all worried about that.
Yeah.
You know, for the private things, it's almost like then having like your own kind of like club. And I might open it up again some point in the future.
So you
the
gotta-
problem
I
is, I've
see-
been wanting to do it for 6 months. I don't ever want people to think it's like in response to something. You know what I mean? Like that, I have to shut it down or anything. So I'm gonna say, whatever happens between now and 2 weeks, however I fuck up, I'm planning to do this in advance.
So I see what you're doing. You're just trying to have a drive right now, a big a big follower drive. Then you cut it off.
that might be a
ends
thing
in
that
2
happens.
weeks.
Yeah, it's good. It'll totally happen.
I mean, who knows? Who knows? I'm just kind of curious.
Are you going to then like approve people or it's just completely locked? How does that work?
I don't know.
Because there are Instagrams that have like millions of followers, but you have to request access to them.
I hate to do it before the Discovery Show, but at the same time, the interaction that I got from being on The Amazing Race was positive, but then also like negative, which I'm used to, but it was negative in a totally new kind of a way. Like it was like beyond anonymous negativity. Like I don't know how else to put it. It was just like
what do you explain?
there was people who were angry who weren't angry about anything specific. They just were just mad. Like like they were mad that we were on The Amazing Race when it should be them. Kind of a thing.
Oh, cool.
Like that.
Oh, like who are these guys? kind of-
Right. Why do they get to be on The Amazing Race?
Yeah, I guess you
know.
wouldn't get that on a Rooster Teeth piece of content.
Right. It was
Who's
interesting.
this guy?
It was interesting.
Well,
But
to your point, whenever I got those tweets about the fucking Thor thing, they were all people that didn't follow me. So it's like, why do I need this engagement from
That
these
is-
pieces
that-
of shit who I don't fucking care about?
no, that's another. There are people who like some of the worst tweets I get. I click on them and it's like they don't follow me. It's like, why did you come here?
Right. I get a lot of those.
Yeah. And that's
feel like-
something else I've noticed too.
I feel like there'll be nothing from the Discovery thing. I feel like TV
That was
in
the other
terms
thing.
of swapping to online engagement is absolutely zero.
Well, we discovered that when we did was it TRL.
TRL and MTV, and I discovered The Amazing Race. My follower count probably went up like 2,000 people, which is a lot, but I mean, it's like, it was, you think, wow, I'm on network TV, prime time, 12 nights, 12 weeks in a row. That should be a thing. It's like, nah, not really.
I went on. I did a TV appearance recently. Like, what do you want to come up on the screen? Like, what's the URL? And I was like, nah, just
Whatever.
I just said, just don't worry about it.
Google.com.
Yeah,
if
someone's really keen to find it, they'll Google it. You don't need to put anything up on the screen.
I remember I went on what was it, Attack of the Show, Kim Pereira show, and I went on there. I think I went on with Kathleen, but Gus and Jeff weren't there, and so they said, "Well, what do you want your thing to be?" I go, "Can I just type it in?" And they go, "Sure." So just like Bernie Burns, I just wrote "better than Gus." That's all it was. Like that, I've had tweeted at me more than anything else. Like that's survived like 10 or 12 years
Right,
at this
yeah.
point, But they put your little. Think about this: how many times you ever seen a Twitter handle on TV and go, "I gotta check that out right now," unless it's like someone who's like ridiculously gorgeous. I don't think I fall in that category. That I'm not an overlap in that. Venn
Almost also, I
diagram.
think you can think about your Attack of the Show appearance. It probably predated Twitter's existence. So it's like there will be a point in the future where people will watch this current footage and be like, "Oh, that platform doesn't even exist anymore."
Yeah, probably. But Twitter's been around a long fucking time, dude. I've had an account there for 11 years. That's kind of scary to think about having it that long. But probably a year ago now, I started doing that thing where I would just delete all my tweets that were older than 3 months. So I never have more than 120 tweets pretty much at any point in time. And I also never have more than 9 photos on my Instagram. I just keep them for myself and I post them there and then take them down. And it's like, I'm way happier like that. I'm happier without having this like wealth of just comments and thoughts I had for the last 11 years of my life just kind of floating around out there.
I think it'd be fun to look at when I'm like 90. Though.
You can archive it. I can tell you this. If you go to Twitter right now and you archive your tweets, the interface for searching your tweets in the offline archive is way better than the site. It's way better. It gives you a nice little spreadsheet and everything else.
But you can lose the archive.
You can lose anything.
Yeah, but chances are Twitter won't lose it.
Maybe. Or they could just go out of business one day and you don't even know they're going out of business.
Yeah, Vines. I had some bangers, man. They're all gone now.
Did you not get a chance to download them?
I
Yeah, but then you might lose it, Gav.
I think I'll.
Well, obviously you can lose it after it's gone down.
I was watching some of our Vines we made back in the day, Gav. I really like those. I think the birthday party for Barbara might be one of my favorite
Which one
things.
was that?
Where we wish her happy birthday. She says, "Not my birthday." And then we're just eating her cake furiously. Eating her cake.
I just remember that I was pretty much just corpsing through all of those. Like every bit where you were like making some sort of punchline joke with like bitch in it or like alligators heavy as bitch or shut the I'm just cracking up.
We're just laughing.
On camera. I'm just laughing.
We're laughing the whole time. Those were a lot of fun to make, man.
I think alligators heavy as 2 bitch is one of my favorite Rooster Teeth lines of all time.
I got to scoot here, but I do want to call you guys out on something. I sent you guys an invitation to an event. Neither one of you RSVP'd.
I meant to do that right now.
Well, you meant to do it. It's like in a day.
You
The
didn't send
event
me
is
shit.
A day? Oh, is it tomorrow? I'm sorry,
Gavin,
my bad.
fuck you because you opened it.
not
I can
tomorrow.
see when you opened it.
Oh, when was it? When was this?
Last week I sent it. Blaine, thank you for RSVPing.
Did I? Yeah. I did.
Yeah.
Well, there was one recently where I was the first person
Also,
to RSVP.
it didn't also say it was from you, by the way.
Eric,
I've got a bone to pick with you.
you too. Fuck
Do
you
you see-
for
do you
not
see who it came
responding.
from?
Thank you, Blaine, for responding. Eric,
Look at this.
You're not invited.
Look who it's from.
Wait, what's that?
Right, what the fuck is that?
Oh, that's why I didn't see
That's
it.
why I thought it's like, this seems like some kind of phishing
I
attempt.
thought it was spam.
But you opened it.
Well, I looked at it, I was like, what the fuck is this?
Oh, that's what.
Why did you sign it that way?
Because it's 2 people hosting the event.
But that's not a real person.
It's what I could do. I didn't know it was going to send the email like that. Everyone else got through it fine.
Can I come if they don't want to?
You know
No,
what,
I'm
Eric?
going. I'm RSVPing now.
Absolutely not.
Can Eric be my +1?
If you-
All right, that's it.
If you
We're
want
done.
To. Are you going to RSVP?
Yeah.
I just
Gus ain't going.
I even texted you
That's
about it, Gav.
RSVPing. Yes or no?
I already said yes in the text. You know I'm going to be
saying
there. You
I'm,
told me in
I'm
person.
available.
All right, we're done.
That's a real thing.
You're going to the airport. Get out of here.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, everyone, if you like
Hey, if you like this
episode of
video,
the
please go
podcast,
down below
you
and,
can click
like and subscribe. Hit
and
the bell
subscribe.
at the bottom. You
Who
can
are
watch
you?
all the other videos at
watch
the bottom
the
too.
other
Go see our. Oh, you almost had it. Go watch all the videos and see them right away, please. I have to keep this job. Please go click on
It's
the
good
videos.
that you're doing it this time. Oh! You almost hit. You almost hit someone. You almost hit Dennis.
Dennis
back there.
in the face.
Anyway, like and subscribe, please.